It was you, my soul, that battlefield. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. I.
Thank you so much for joining me today. You are watching Healthy Living with Nana. Today is going to be special. Everything to do with women health. This lady is fantastic. She will tell us about everything. So without wasting much time, I will call my dear Mrs. Lilia Hanson. Woo! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Have a seat, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you please tell us a bit about yourself, your background, what you do, so everybody will know your background history?
Yes. So my name, as you rightly said, is Lilia Hanson. I am married for how long now? I can't even remember. 27, coming up to 28 years.
Whoa.
I've got 3 children.
Whoa.
I'm a nurse. My background is adult nursing, but fortunately for me, I have a job in this lovely place, early pregnancy clinic and emergency gynecology unit.
Good.
So that's why my sister rightly said that I'm going to talk about women's health most of the time when I'm on the show. It's women's health, and women's health.
Beautiful, beautiful. So today, what are you talking about?
It's quite a heavy subject. I chose it not because I wanted people to be sad. I want us to know a lot about it. And it's all about miscarriages.
Does it happen a lot, miscarriages?
It does. So statistics has shown that in 10 pregnancies, 4 will be a miscarriage.
Wow, that's a high number.
It's a very high number.
So 40%.
40%
Wow.
will miscarry. And so the signs you need to know when this is happening is very important. Most of the times, women, we want to bottle things up. We feel it's all okay. Oh, I just saw this, but I feel it's okay, so you get on with it. We need to keep an eye on ourselves when we fall pregnant. So the moment you see a positive pregnancy test, and there is
it means
bleeding,
you are happy.
You are happy.
Ooh,
you are very, very happy.
Baby.
Some keep their test strip in their purse.
Wow.
Some have so many ways of revealing this to their husbands, their boyfriends, their partners, their fiancé. They keep it in their purse. Some will just put it beside the dinner or wherever they want to make it, under the husband's pillow.
Just to make the announcement.
Just to do the announcement.
Wow.
And it's always in a dramatic way. These days, that is how they do it.
Wow.
In our days, many years ago, when we were having children, as you are aware, you just kept quiet.
So somebody will see you and say,
and then you have a bump.
Exactly.
That's when they will know.
You even say you are not pregnant.
You deny until the tummy is really
so
bulging
big.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you will just say yeah, because it's sacred. We
sorry,
thought.
Not to cut you. Will it be because of our background, or it's like that everywhere? Because I don't know.
Yeah, even not to be biased, but even the English people, they used not to tell anybody yet until a certain point, until they've had their first scan. That's when they used to tell. But these days, as soon as people fall pregnant, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on their WhatsApp messages, and it goes everywhere. It goes viral for everybody to know so and so is pregnant. They've seen their first positive test.
Wow.
It's good news. And everybody, as soon as you fall pregnant, you are looking forward to buy baby clothes.
Yeah.
You see baby clothes everywhere, and you just get attracted to it, even though you don't know the sex of the baby yet. You still want to.
It's something that happens. Like
Yeah.
when you are pregnant and you go out, you see lots of pregnant women.
So
they say, well, I think
and
you
the
see
baby shop,
clothes.
you just go.
Yeah,
You just
everywhere.
It attracts you. You just go in there.
Wow.
So yeah. So as I was saying earlier, the signs you need to look out for when you fall pregnant. Everything should be smooth. As soon as you see spotting is when you see blood. When you wipe yourself, you go to the toilet and you see pink discharge, you see brown discharge, you see red discharge, heavy bleeding all of a sudden, sudden gush. You need to seek medical attention, because apart from this, the miscarriage that you are thinking about, you should also be thinking about, is the pregnancy implanted in my womb? That is very important, because it could be pregnancy outside the womb.
Wow.
Which we call ectopic pregnancy. That will be another topic altogether.
Right.
Today our focus is on miscarriages.
Yes.
So you've seen all these signs that I've just mentioned: pink discharge, red discharge, brown discharge, watery discharge, which you are 100% sure
watery as well.
It can be really watery, all of a sudden gush like that. It's not normal, because you can't pass urine like that in the early stages of pregnancy. You can't do that. So when you see that, you need to seek medical attention. So once you seek medical attention, they may check. If you go to accident and emergency unit, they may check your blood. They will do blood test on you to check whether you have bled too much or your hemoglobin, basically, just to make sure it's in the normal range. If it is below, then they may be thinking, oh, even though you've seen this small blood, you could be hemorrhaging in the tummy.
Right.
So it's important you do that. Seek
So what
medical
does
attention.
hemorrhaging mean?
Hemorrhaging is when blood starts collecting in the abdomen. Because if it's not coming out, and that is when I mentioned the topic ectopic, that could be the pregnancy implanted in the tubes somewhere, and the tubes are so small it will pop, and then blood will be leaking in your abdomen.
That would be dangerous.
It can be very dangerous, life-threatening.
Very.
So you've seen this, you've sought medical attention, they've booked an appointment for you to have an ultrasound scan. So the ultrasound scan for an early pregnancy below 10 weeks, it's always transvaginal.
Right.
You cannot have an ultrasound scan on the abdomen
like
when you are below. Yes. From 10 weeks upwards, the baby is big enough for the camera to go through the skin of the abdomen and get to the womb. Mind you, the womb is so small. So, and the abdomen, the skin, and the layers, there are layers upon layers before you get to it. So it's better to have the transvaginal scan for a better resolution, a better view of the womb.
So, what if you are somewhere in a village that you don't have A&E or emergency service? What do you do?
To be honest with you, I don't know how people cope. I think as you write the song you just played, it's by grace that these villagers survive all of these miscarriages. And you know, sometimes they probably go to the traditionalist where they give them maybe traditional medication,
herbal treatments and stuff like that.
Because these days I know most of the villages will have a small clinic, a midwife there and stuff like that, but they don't have the ability to have a scan to even show where the pregnancy is. So it's by grace that people are surviving all of these miscarriages. God knows how they are going about it. So if you have an opportunity where you live and you get these symptoms, you see these signs and symptoms, you have to be able to seek medical attention. Go to your midwife. They know what they are doing. If it's a midwife, a small village, and it's a midwife, please make sure you go there and get the attention you require. It's their specialty, so they will know where to touch and to say, oh, this pain is too much, we need to call a doctor or find you the assistance that you require.
So it gets painful as well.
It can become very painful as well.
So it starts with the bleeding.
With the bleeding and then the
develops.
pain. It develops into pain, or it can start with the pain and then the bleeding will be associated with it. Yeah. And sometimes it's very dull. You don't even have any pain. You will see the bleeding but no pain. Right. Each one of them is different. Everybody's symptoms may be different from what you are going through. Yeah. So once you've had a scan and a pregnancy is seen in the womb, below 10 weeks, we may be able to see a heartbeat. Some people may bleed and have this pain, but the baby will be okay. Yes.
But is that one common?
Very common. Very common. There has been research showing that this medication, which is called progesterone, can help to stop the bleeding completely, for you to have a successful pregnancy. But we need to go into it a bit more to be able to give it to people, to women, to be able to help them in their pregnancy. Any woman who comes in with bleeding, we will have to get a doctor to prescribe it for them to use.
And is that tablets, injection?
No, it's a pessary that goes in the anal part. Some people will put it in their vagina, but then because you are bleeding, sometimes it falls out and it doesn't do the job it needs to do, and then it becomes clogged up in the vagina and it causes it might not cause any problem, but people just fear putting something down in their vagina because that is where the bleeding is coming from. They are already worried, and so they don't want to put anything down there. If you have the bleeding again, or if you have the pain again, you can take paracetamol. Paracetamol is the basic you can take for when you are pregnant. Never take ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is a no for pregnancy.
So it's not more of the side effect of the bleeding, but then the effect on the abdomen.
On the abdomen, it's not good, and it's also not good for the baby as well. To take for the developing baby to have ibuprofen
in their blood.
That steroid going in them is not good as well. So that is where we are now. Then at other times you will have the scan and there will be a pregnancy there, but there will not be any heartbeat. Most of the time we call it threatened miscarriage or probable miscarriage, or we may say pregnancy of unknown viability. Because
there's no
at that point
so
there's no heartbeat, but we still have to give the baby a chance. That's what we call it. We don't jump into conclusion to say you came today, there's no heartbeat, so you've had a miscarriage. No. The size of the fetus of the pregnancy is very, very important. We measure when you scan. the sonographers will measure the size of the pregnancy, and if it is below 7 millimeters, we don't call it miscarriage.
But 7 millimeters is wow.
If it is below 7
that's
millimeters,
just a normal
it's
blood,
a dot.
isn't it?
Yes,
It's a dot.
it's like a dot. So say you came in and it was below 7 millimeters.
Yes.
We bring you back 7 to 10 days time to have another scan. But before you are discharged, we give you all the scenarios you may face. Because no consultant will do anything to this pregnancy until you've had the second scan. So we need to caution you about what to do in case you start bleeding again.
Right.
Because it is likely. This is a pregnancy.
The bleeding have started. You've had a scan, and now they want to redo the scan.
Yes.
So if you go home and the bleeding continues,
what
then
do you do?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to come back to accident and emergency. We will not scan you yet. If say you bleed the second day you've had a scan. If we scan you the second day, it will not give us any conclusion. We will not have a diagnosis still. It has to at least be 7 days.
Right.
Then we are definitely sure we are giving you the right diagnosis. We say, no, you've come back, we've scanned you, and still there's no heartbeat.
So then can you tell the person when they are going home that if they go home and they bleed, they shouldn't worry to come back because you will not be able to do anything at that point?
If the bleeding is, they are able to contain the bleeding at home. It's like their period, but with some clots. They can contain it. Some people are happy to contain it in the house. But the advice we normally give is 4 sanitary pads. Wow. 4 sanitary pads in 1 hour. You can't contain it at home.
No.
Call the ambulance to get you
of course
to the hospital. So you've come back. Fortunately for you, you went home. You came back for the scan again. The second time, the bleeding settled when you went home. You've come back. The scan shows still the same size, or it has even shrunk from where it was. Say if the size was 6, now it's shrunk to maybe 4. Then we have to.
What will make it shrink? Is it because of the bleeding, or it's just dying? What's happening to it?
Because the hormone that helps with this to make the pregnancy grow has stopped, and therefore the body starts to absorb the pregnancy, and that is why some people will miscarry. They will not have that heavy kind of bleeding. They will continue to have their spotting. The clot they will have will be just maybe a string, like a string of clot, and that will be it. They might not have any pain, nothing. Because at some point the body absorbs.
They've had miscarriage.
They've had their miscarriage. Yes. Not all miscarriages will end up with heavy bleeding. No. Not all of them will end up.
This is amazing. This is amazing. You guys are doing a wonderful job.
Very emotional place to be. But you will love what you are doing because you are giving them the advice that they require to make them feel comfortable in themselves, be reassured of what is happening, even though it's sad and they are losing their baby. You need to be passionate about it, to talk about it. COVID-19 period, just the patient will come in, the woman will come in with no partner, no husband, and when they get this bad news, it becomes really difficult to even settle them and speak to them for them to get what you are talking about.
Now you have touched on something. COVID. So the pandemic have changed a lot of things. And even in your department, it has affected everything.
Yes.
And their emotions as well.
They come by themselves. Can you imagine? You've had bleeding, you've had pain, you are expecting a baby, and some of them are even IVF pregnancies. They look forward to be pregnant for years, and then they come
finally it's here,
and then there's no pregnancy. There's either no pregnancy or there is a pregnancy but no heartbeat. What I will also touch on a little bit before we finish the program will be the men, the partners.
They are important. It's amazing that sometimes when it comes to things like this, women will tend to think that
they become selfish.
Because, yes,
when they
that is the word.
They
become selfish, thinking we are the only ones that
need to be consoled,
exactly.
need the tender loving care. And the men will want to make their wife happy. The woman was carrying the baby. The men always have that in mind, that you were the one going through the pregnancy, having hormonal changes, going through, vomiting in pregnancy, going off your food. You don't want to see certain colors. Some food types you don't even want to touch at all.
Wow.
And then this happens in the 10th week of your pregnancy. You're waiting to go for your 12-week scan, where people get photos and they post everywhere. And now you went and there's no...
Because now they can even have 3D scans.
Things have
changed,
Things have changed. You can see
dear.
the limbs of the baby with the 3D, 4D even. It's like you're holding on to the baby.
Wow.
Amazing photos, and it doesn't happen. The men are devastated, but they want to bottle up. They want to just suppress their emotions to give way for the women to cry and to have a shoulder to cry on. I remember a couple very well, very, very well. It's now stuck with me because they were blaming each other. They were both in their late 30s, in a profession where you have to go ahead with your career, lawyer, and the woman was a lawyer. So they were going on and on and on. And so when they fell pregnant, they were still going on with their work. And when this miscarriage happened, the man was like, you always kept saying, oh, I need to finish this leap. I need to do this leap. I need to do this. And so now
you were rushing the pregnancy.
You were suppressing us. You didn't want us to fall pregnant. And we kept using our contraception. And now that we have fallen pregnant, we've miscarried. It's your fault.
Wow.
And so the woman did not want to bring him anymore.
All right.
So we had to settle them. The job you do doesn't cause miscarriage, Nothing like that can cause a miscarriage. It's all to do with so many things, chromosomes. It's all to do with abnormal womb. The cervix is so weak. There are fibroids that can cause the miscarriage, thrombophilia, which is to do with the blood type, with the blood doesn't clot properly, so some of them will be given injections once it's investigated.
Is it a bit like the hemophiliacs where they have the blood is always thin and they bleed a lot? And,
that's it.
So when they are pregnant, it's also another problem.
It affects the pregnancy because of their...
because they can't clot properly.
That is it. That is it. So they would, some people, once they've been investigated, that is when you've had 3 or more miscarriages in consistently. Then they start to investigate to make sure there's nothing of that nature happening.
We are learning a lot today about miscarriages. There's a lot that I have learned that I didn't even know is happening. So I hope my viewers, everybody is taking notes. And people that have had family members our friends and family that are going through this, I hope they will be able to console them, knowing what they are going through. Because sometimes you hear it with your ear, it goes here and comes out, and that's it.
If it doesn't involve you,
you don't actually feel what the person is feeling, isn't it?
You don't
Especially if you have been through numerous pregnancies
and all of them are successful,
and you don't know
anything.
Not even getting ill before you know you've had your baby. You don't think about those things.
Yeah, it's very important.
It is very important, and it's very emotional.
They need to be listened to.
They need the support.
Very, very important.
They need support.
Listen to them. Give them their advice. Just be with them and let them know they are also wanted, and let them feel you are there for them. So it's very important. And the men, women, please take your men or your partners. These days we don't say men so much. It's your partner. It could be your same-sex partner. You both have lost the pregnancy. So take their emotions as well into consideration. You mourn together. You talk about this pregnancy.
Blaming game.
Don't blame anybody, because you cannot blame him for not being at home and working all day. You cannot blame her for standing on her feet, doing the sewing the whole day, or cooking.
Does those things affect?
Never.
It doesn't.
Whatever job you do does not affect the pregnancy being miscarried.
You said about the diagnosis.
I've said about the scan.
The scans.
And now, once we know that it's a definite miscarriage, we have 3 ways of dealing with the miscarriage.
Right.
You are given the option to choose.
Okay.
First of all, we say conservative management. Conservative management is nothing to be done to this pregnancy. Leave it for nature to take its course.
Right.
You will miscarry on your own at some point. So we give you at least 2 weeks.
Right.
If that is the choice you have made, because we give you all 3 options. And then you choose.
Or you choose one.
That's it. So the first option is conservative management. Conservative management is always the best, because your body knows it was pregnant. So at some point when the pregnancy is not going ahead, it's not progressing, the body will reject it. So we give you at least 2 weeks to go home, and you will miscarry at some point. Once you've had a miscarriage, then you and you are able to contain it in the house, that's fine. If you can't, you come into hospital or you seek medical attention. Call the ambulance to bring you in. When you start bleeding, 4 parts, 1 hour, not good. You have to come.
So what if you are somewhere there's no ambulance?
Then you
will
need to go to your
one ambulance. Somebody is
go to your midwife. There are midwives in villages and small towns and villages. There are midwives everywhere. You can call the taxi
or Okada. You go on Okada.
They are saying about the Okada. You go in one of them. But the bleeding can be terrible. So when you are going and you don't have any pad, get some old clothing with you, old cloths. Just put them in your bag, in a plastic bag, in case you start bleeding.
I remember in those days, people were using old clothes, isn't it?
For their period even, and for having babies. Once they've had babies, and that kind of bleeding, there's no cotton wool or pad that will sustain
in those
you.
days. Oh my word!
So that is the first option. Conservative management. That is the natural way of you miscarrying. The second option is medical management. So this medical management is where we give you tablets that you insert in the vagina to start the miscarriage. So when you are given these tablets, you are given it, you go home. In some hospitals, you stay in hospital for the whole day for the miscarriage to happen. These tablets, because there are 4 of them,
tablets.
They contract the womb, the uterus, so that it expels the pregnancy.
Right. That's how
it
they
comes
work.
with bleeding. It comes with pain. You will be prescribed stronger pain relief like codeine. You can get paracetamol as well. Because the pregnancy has failed. This time, if you are not allergic to ibuprofen, you can take ibuprofen as well. Because this time,
ibuprofen is free.
You can take it as well. The third option is surgery. This is not surgery like cesarean section where you have a cut. No. The doctors use something we call the suction tube down in the cervix. They suction the pregnancy and everything is done within 20 to 30 minutes. You are out of surgery. Warning though, you are going to have anesthetic to do this procedure. It's a general one, but very, very small amount of the anesthetic medication.
So you wake up.
Wake up quick because it's a very
short procedure. I think that
procedure.
would be good for a lot of people, isn't it? Because that will not be painful. In my
experience, I've seen a lot like that. I've seen a lot.
But you won't go through pain. You will sleep. You wake up and it's done.
Yeah. But mind you, from 12 weeks upwards, if you miscarry, most of the consultants will not allow you or will not agree to you having the surgery as an option. Because they are afraid. At that time, the baby has started developing bones from 12-week cartilages, bones and all that. So they don't want it. They don't want you to. They don't want to experience the fact that they have to suction. This is, mind you, this is suctioning. It might not even fit in the suction tube. And the tip of the womb is such that the suction tube is so small. This pregnancy is bigger now. So they can't do it for you. So mostly from 12 weeks upwards, they will advise you to have the tablet. And unfortunately, it's a very, very, disheartening to see a whole baby delivered with limbs and everything, but no heartbeat and the placenta attached to it. So it's very, very difficult for the mothers to see and the fathers to see this happening. But
would this happen at home or?
This will happen even from 9 weeks. We don't advise 8 weeks in our clinic. We don't even advise for you to have it at home because it is big enough to scare you, and some people don't want to see this at all. So we bring you to the hospital. Below 8 weeks, you can have it at home because it comes out like tissue, pregnancy tissue. It's not as big as 8 weeks and above.
Because the 12 weeks will have the head.
They will have everything.
All the
they
limbs.
will have everything.
Then in the hospital, when the person is there, like at home, you don't want them to see it. So in the hospital, are they not going to see it? They
will see the baby once. It's a lovely way of saying goodbye to the fetus. A miscarried baby. They put the baby in a cradle with woolly clothing on the baby,
and that is when it's very big.
Even 12 weeks. Even from 12 weeks.
Is it not scary to put it in a shawl?
Oh, it's amazing. The moms, this is where you see them smile even because they've seen the way the baby is dressed up, and then you can have hand prints. Yes. We do hand prints.
Oh, you have the limbs, everything to do
the fingers.
12 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
So limbs, we have carbon there where we have we also have a book where you can write whatever Some people will give the baby name,
Yes.
and then they will print their limbs, the feet. We do all those prints for them. You choose a poem to go with your baby. There are so many poems there. You choose one, and some of them will just handwrite it in the book. Keep it in the book. They will give them a teddy bear as a remembrance.
Yes.
And then the baby will be taken away when the mom is ready.
Yeah.
These days, some of the women ask, or some of the parents will ask for the baby to be taken with them.
Okay.
They used not to agree to it because people want to bury them in their garden.
Oh.
And so this is England we are talking about.
Yes.
Sorry, this is England we are talking about. I don't know about elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
But in England,
because this program is going to be watching a lot of places.
40, yes, 40
so in
countries.
England, they allow you to take the baby home and bury it the way you want. But we don't know about other areas.
Yes.
If you know in your area how they do it, please give us a comment. You are watching this program and you have my details going under the screen. Please WhatsApp me with your comment. Let me know how you do it in your country, and we will shout it out for everybody to hear that this is how they do it in this country or this part of the world. We will love to know. Thank you, Lilia. Carry on, my dear.
So if you want to take the fetus home, you are allowed now. Previously they kept saying legally, in case you move house and somebody else lives in your house, and there is an investigation to do with whatever, and they start digging the garden and find bones, and these are not dog bones, they are human bones. DNA test will show that they are human. Then the person living in the house might be in trouble. But now, one way or the other, people have fought and laws have changed, and they are allowing parents to take their fetuses home. The bigger babies, I don't think they will allow you. I don't think so. They will do a burial. The hospital takes care of that for you, and there will be a service. If you are a Muslim, they will do a Muslim service. If you are a Christian too, they will do a Christian service where you'll be invited and to
even
attend.
12 weeks.
Even 12. They put every month they do one service for all the miscarriages that have happened. Those who are ready. They keep, mind you, they keep in England. They keep fetuses in the morgue for 12 weeks.
Wow.
Before they dispose it off. Not dispose as in chuck in the bin. They cremate. They cremate because of cost. They don't bury each in one burial place. They cremate, and then the
ashes.
The
family can take the ashes.
They put the ashes somewhere. They spread it in the cemetery somewhere. So they will show you where they put them, and you can lay your flowers. But it's not just your baby; it's all the other babies, because they are so small. They put them together every month, and they do that and spread the ashes.
But so when the baby is a little bit big, then they
bury
it somewhere.
Yes. Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes. Even 12 weeks, if you want to do your own burial, you can do it yourself. But the hospital, up to a certain weeks, they will not do proper burial. They will do cremation and then spread the ashes at a particular place.
And it will leave you because of cost, or
it's
because
all to do with cost. They used to bury each and every fetus, everyone, and the cost was going up and up and up. Thinking at the beginning of this show, we said 4 miscarriages in 10 pregnancies. So you can imagine the cost on the NHS. That is
because when you go to the hospital to have your baby, you don't know where they take all the babies to. Because every minute, a new baby comes. Every minute. And they will check this one. As soon as you are discharged, another person will come on the bed.
Yes.
Wow. So it's a lot of babies.
Yeah.
So if all these babies, 40% of the pregnancy
stopped at some point,
then imagine if everybody was to have their baby. Wow.
How many?
Wow.
Yeah. So this is, I think, a summary of everything in points we've said about how the symptoms or the signs We've spoken about you going for ultrasound scan. We've spoken about what the ultrasound scan will diagnose. We have also spoken about once it's diagnosed, what to do.
Yes.
So now we know, in a summary, you miscarry, you have options, you go ahead with whichever one you are happy with, and then you are supposed to do a pregnancy test to end that pregnancy. You need a negative pregnancy test. You need a negative pregnancy test.
So although you have had the miscarriage, they still believe you might still be positive.
You will be positive because of the hormone in the body. The pregnancy hormone stays in the body for at least 2 weeks.
Wow.
So we advise you, do it in 2 weeks' time. Some doctors will say 3 weeks, so that you don't panic after 2 weeks, panicking to say, oh, I'm still positive. So it's better not to have any intercourse, or even if you have an intercourse, you have to use condom. So that you don't fall pregnant whilst you're waiting to be negative. Otherwise, you don't know when.
Oh, does it happen?
Very much so.
Yeah, because I remember there's one lady that had the baby, and she didn't have another menstruation and became pregnant again.
We are calling it baby boom for this COVID-19 period, because people have had babies and they've fallen pregnant within 4 months time, and they are continuing with the pregnancy. So there will be, in this coming few months, there will be another
baby boom.
Of babies. So you can't fall pregnant.
So hopefully the people that miscarried will continue to also have another pregnant one, so that they will see them.
And that is to glorify God's name. They come in, and as I said earlier, we go with the flow. If they are Muslim, you even though I am not a Muslim, some of their practices and the things they say, we have adopted them. And as soon as you tell them Allah will provide, they are happy, and they know you share their pain, you share their joy, and you know about their belief. And with those who you feel don't even have any beliefs, you just go with them. Everything happens for a reason, and then you use that to console them. You never say, who should it happen to? You never say that, because that will make it sound as if you work there, you've seen it, so you are brushing it under the carpet. No. So always be empathetic, sympathize with them, give them your condolences, reassure them that the next pregnancy will be a successful one. Just have your negative test and try again. And one advice is, once you've had the miscarriage and you've had your negative test, start taking your folic acid. Folic acid will prepare you for the next pregnancy. Whoever is trying to be pregnant and it's not happening, take folic acid.
How many milligrams?
5 milligrams a day.
5 milligrams.
Preparing you
will
again.
Do the magic.
Do the magic for you.
Wow.
Don't stop taking it. continue taking it. I've seen it happen.
Because even in early pregnancies,
that's
they
what
let
you
you
take
the,
till you are 12 weeks.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
these days, they go for pregnant care before, pregnant care after, pregnant care this, pregnant care this. They have so many medications. In town.
Wow.
But before pregnancies even, they became like this.
Yes.
Fashionable. We used to take our folic acid. And your midwife will even give you a bottle of folic acid that can last you up to 12 weeks. That's what they will give you.
Yes.
So believe in the folic acid.
Wow.
Don't think pregnant care
folic
is better.
acid. Yeah.
Just take your
So if somebody is somewhere that there is no folic acid, what else can they take?
You have to eat well. Because this folic acid we are talking about comes from greens.
Yes.
So eat your greens.
It's your iron, isn't it?
It's your iron. You continue to eat
and
all
that is
the
why
greens.
Healthy Living with Nana comes in. We are going to prepare salad today. We are going to prepare salad today.
Green salad, is it?
Green salad. There's green.
Yes, green.
You know, in food, you need all the colors. It's very important.
Very, very important.
But the greens is there.
Does it mean we are going to have something to eat after
yes.
I've had all this talk?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That is good.
We have to prepare something for our viewers to see some of the stuff they can eat to help them. So you need your folic acid, you need your greens, because you need your iron.
Yeah.
And that is very, very important for anybody trying to get pregnant or they are pregnant or they are expecting.
Yeah. They've had a miscarriage and they want to fall pregnant as soon as possible.
As soon as.
Yeah.
It will do the magic. Anything else that you want to tell us?
I think we've touched on everything at the moment for now.
Yes.
If there are other things that come up, even though we've spoken about miscarriages in general, there's always something to talk about.
Yes.
So your viewers need to prompt us, give us, scenarios of things that you have experienced, so that Nana will pass it on to me. The next time we meet, we can touch on it again.
You are the professional for the women. So all the women out there, this is your lady. Yeah. She's going to tell us a lot about women health.
Yeah.
Today, what we have learned today is amazing. Even me, I have learned a lot of things. Because having successful pregnancies, you don't get to know a lot about pregnancy. You would think you know about pregnancy, but actually you don't. You don't, because you had a successful one, and it was no problem. No vomit, nothing. It's just being big, and then your baby is here.
Born.
So you don't know about pregnancy, but people that go through these miscarriages and those sort of things are the ones that have the true experience.
Yeah. We see it
thank
all.
You. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming to enlighten us about this. So I know everybody somewhere, no matter where you are, when you experience those same things, please seek medical help. If you are somewhere that you don't have hospital, you are in your village, you have your midwives. You have your old women in the community that deals with pregnancies. Because in my days, when we were growing up, all the women in my house, they were having babies at home. None of them was having babies in hospital.
And they were...
But now...
they were doing all of that themselves.
Now, pregnancies has actually become medicalized.
Yeah.
But before, it wasn't. It was the old women that were dealing with all the deliveries. Yes.
And piercing, anything.
Yes, they were doing it.
Before your baby comes out of the house.
Yes.
The first time circumcised.
Yes.
Ears pierced.
Yes.
All done.
And we have lost all those skills as women. Now, I am a nurse. we train together.
Mm-hmm.
But all that you have taught me, I don't know a lot about them.
Yeah.
Because this is your
Your my
specialty.
specialty, yeah.
That's not my specialty. I am for the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So we have lost a
Yeah.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there's something we can do that can bring it back, but I think we lost it for good.
For good.
Yeah, because very soon we are going to be the old women in the community.
Yeah, but all
we
those
can
things
help
we
the
can-
young
no.
women.
We have to
The
direct
young
them
women,
to the
we have
hospital.
exactly.
Yeah, the reassurance bit we can do.
Definitely.
We can console them,
Yes.
but we cannot do the things.
The technical
Those
stuff.
no, we can't do
But
them.
those women,
I
they
can
were very
never
good.
pierce a child's
Because
ears.
I remember
can't
when
do
we
that.
were growing up, there was this lady that I think she had miscarriage of a sort, and she was bleeding, and the bleeding was not that much. And they came to my grandmother, and my grandmother, you know, Wisiepun. You know Wisiepun. Wisiepun, that thing that comes on the wall from when they cook. On
that
those
would be
mortar.
the black thing from the
black
chimney.
thing from the chimney.
That's
that
it.
thing.
How do you call it? Soot.
Yes.
I think it's soot.
My grandmother used that one to prepare some concoction for the lady
Bleeding stop.
to. She bled. She said she bled for about 30 minutes continuously after taking the medication. She bled for and even that one is animal. It's not like drinking, no. It's animal. After using it, she went to empty the bowel. Went home within 30 minutes, and then that's it.
Wow.
All the clots came out
Everything.
within 30 minutes, and she was
So
free.
probably she was miscarrying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think she was. And it was just going slow, and it was taking too long, and she was in pain and all that. That's why they came to my grandma.
Wow.
And just by doing that, within 30
Sometimes
minutes.
people will ask, what shall I do to make the miscarriage happen
Yeah,
soon for me?
exactly. Nothing.
Nothing.
But this lady, after having the enema with that concoction, started bleeding clots for about 30 minutes, and that was it.
Wow.
That was it. But this story is like, now I want more.
You want.
From me to you, saying thank you for coming to Healthy Living with Nana.
Thank you.
You have actually been amazing.
Thank
have
you.
taught us a lot today. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Nana. Thank you.
We are now
Really
going to prepare the salad
good.
for all our viewers to see what they can have.
Yeah. Thank you.
Janet's Hair Salon, the best Afro-Caribbean salon in Luton. Services provided: braiding, wigs, hair treatments, as well as hair and beauty products. This includes creams, expression extensions, African print and more. Janet's Hair Salon can be located at 156B Mass Road, Luton, OU3 2QL. Call today on 0744 901 6278.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching Healthy Living with Nana. This is the part that we show what you can eat to stay healthy. Lilia here made us know that we need folic acid in pregnancy, and folic acid is iron. So where are you going to get iron from? You get iron from your greens, okay? So we are preparing this simple salad to show you what you can do simply at home. This salad goes with anything you want to eat with. You can just have it with bread. You can have it with rice. And rice, because of the carbohydrate, you want to limit the size.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so when you are eating, you need a balanced diet. You need the food that contain all the nutrients in their right proportions. So it is always important to have different colors in your food. When you assemble the salad, you want all the colors. So we have here our lettuce, we have avocado pear here, we have cucumber, we have our peppers, okay? Yellow, green, and red pepper. They are sweet peppers here. We have red onions here. We have tomato here, and we have carrots, okay? Here we have our sweet corn, which is already prepared. We have boiled eggs here. This is beetroot. This beetroot is pickled beetroot. We have our tuna here. We have just poured the water out and put the flakes in this bowl. Here we have mayonnaise with Caesar dressing. Mayonnaise is good. We need a little bit of fat in our body. So we are going to cut the vegetables quickly. Lilia will help me. We have washed all the stuff. We have washed our hands. So we don't need to do anything again. This is not cooking competition. This is just preparing food at home. We will just cut it up and assemble it in our bowl, okay? I'm not going to use all the lettuce because it's going to be too much. Nowadays, everything you eat it in proportion, okay? Little proportion. We are making these layers. We are making it layers. So whatever we cut, we just pour it on, okay? We are making it layers, all right? Just giving us our idea what we can do at home to have healthy, balanced diet, all right? When you are cutting it, please watch your hands. You don't want to cut your finger. Make sure the knife you are using is not too sharp. We will use more of that one and then less of the other one. What you need to remember is always when you do the proportions, vegetables is more on your plate, carbohydrates should be less, okay? And your fat should be less. All the colors showing up for us. And now we have our bowl is
a bit small.
It's a bit small for our salad. So
whichever way it goes, it looks.
To have a very beautiful salad, you need to have a pinch of salt in it. Not too much salt, but a pinch of salt. So you can use anything. You don't have to use tuna if you don't like tuna, okay? And the next thing to go on it to make it more appetizing also is this is white pepper, okay? White pepper makes it amazing. Okay? Nice one. Voila! That's our beautiful tuna and egg salad. So we're now going to taste to see how it's tasting. I think I have enough. So I'll let you, Lilia, serve yourself.
You know what, Anna? I haven't put salt in my salad before.
That's the secret. That is the secret.
So, a woman, you've had a miscarriage, you need your energy back.
Yes, sure.
This is very good for you.
Yeah.
To bring all the nutrients back in the body to get you going again.
Yes.
And the Lord bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.